The Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council was a sight to behold, its towering spires and holographic displays exuding an aura of power and authority. Representatives from the most advanced alien civilizations in the cosmos convened here, their faces a mixture of curiosity and disdain as they discussed the latest human problem. At the head of the council, the ancient Vorax ambassador cleared his throat, his mandibles clicking as he spoke. "Fellow counselors, it is time we address the growing threat posed by the primitive humans. Their technology is crude, their society is in disarray, and their aggression knows no bounds. We can no longer ignore their potential to disrupt the delicate balance of our galactic order." A murmur of agreement rippled through the chamber as the other ambassadors nodded solemnly. The Vithran representative, a being of pure energy, spoke up in a crackling, ethereal voice. "The humans have shown themselves to be unruly and unpredictable. Their tendency towards violence and self-destruction is a liability we cannot afford. Something must be done to curtail their development before they become a true menace." The Galactic Council had long prided itself on its ability to maintain order and stability throughout the galaxy. The idea that a primitive, technologically inferior species like the humans could pose a threat was laughable to most of the ambassadors, yet the reports from their scouts and informants painted a concerning picture. "We must intervene," declared the Xyloth ambassador, her scales shimmering with a barely contained fury. "These humans have already made contact with several of our member civilizations, and their reckless behavior has led to conflicts and unrest. We cannot allow this to continue." The Vorax ambassador raised a clawed hand, silencing the chamber. "It is settled then. The Galactic Council will take action to guide the development of humanity, ensuring that they pose no threat to our established order. We will send a delegation to make first contact and offer them the opportunity to join our esteemed alliance." Little did the Galactic Council know, their discussions had not gone unnoticed. Deep within the bowels of a hidden human research facility, a group of scientists and military strategists had been monitoring the Council's transmissions, their faces set in grim determination. "They think they can control us," growled the grizzled commander, his cybernetic eye gleaming. "Arrogant fools. They have no idea what they're up against." The lead scientist, a brilliant young woman with piercing eyes, stepped forward. "Then we must be ready. The Galactic Council may have the advantage in numbers and technology, but we have something far more powerful, the indomitable spirit of humanity. We will not be subjugated without a fight." Plans were quickly set in motion as the hidden human faction began to prepare for the inevitable confrontation. They would need to harness every ounce of their ingenuity, resourcefulness, and sheer determination to stand against the might of the Galactic Council. For the humans, the stakes were clear. Their very survival as a free and independent species hung in the balance, and they were determined to prove to the arrogant aliens that they had made a grave mistake in underestimating the true potential of humanity. In the Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council, the ambassadors basked in the glow of their perceived triumph, unaware of the storm that was about to descend upon them. The humans, once dismissed as insignificant, were about to unleash their fury upon the galaxy's self-proclaimed masters. The sleek alien vessel descended upon the Earth's atmosphere, its crystalline hull shimmering in the sunlight. Inside, the Galactic Council's delegation sat in tense anticipation, their faces a mixture of confidence and apprehension. "Remember, we are here to make peaceful contact and guide the humans towards integration with our alliance," the Vorax ambassador reminded his team. "They are a primitive species, and we must approach them with caution and diplomacy." As the alien ship touched down in a remote location, a crowd of curious and wary humans began to gather, their eyes fixed on the otherworldly craft. Tensions were high, as both sides eyed each other with a mix of fascination and mistrust. Carefully, the Galactic Council's representatives emerged, their strange, insectoid forms eliciting gasps and murmurs from the onlookers. The Vorax ambassador stepped forward, his mandibles clicking as he attempted to communicate in a language the humans could understand. "Greetings, inhabitants of Earth. We are representatives of the Galactic Council, a coalition of the most advanced civilizations in the cosmos. We have come to offer you the opportunity to join our esteemed alliance and share in the benefits of our technological and cultural advancements." The humans, however, were not so easily swayed. A young man, his face set in a defiant scowl, stepped forward. "We want nothing to do with your alliance," he spat. "We've heard the stories of how you've subjugated and exploited other species. We won't be your slaves." The Vorax ambassador's eyes narrowed, his patience beginning to wear thin. "You misunderstand our intentions, young human. We are here to guide you, to help you ascend to a higher level of civilization. Resistance is futile. Suddenly, a deafening roar filled the air, and the ground began to tremble. Emerging from the nearby forests, a massive, heavily armed human vehicle rumbled into view, its turrets trained on the alien ship. "This is your last warning," the young man shouted, his voice laced with a dangerous edge. "Leave our planet, or we'll be forced to show you the true power of humanity." The Galactic Council's delegation was caught off guard, their eyes widening in a mix of shock and alarm. They had underestimated the humans' willingness to defend their homeworld, and now they found themselves in a perilous situation. As the standoff escalated, both sides prepared for the unthinkable, a direct confrontation between the primitive humans and the advanced alien civilizations of the Galactic Council. The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance, and neither side was willing to back down. The Galactic Council's delegation had vastly underestimated the ferocity of the human response to their initial contact. Faced with the unexpected show of force from the heavily armed human vehicle, the alien representatives found themselves in a precarious position. Scrambling to regain control of the situation, the Vorax ambassador raised his clawed hands in a placating gesture. "Humans, please, let us discuss this like rational beings. We mean you no harm. We only wish to help guide your development and bring you into the fold of our advanced civilization." The young man who had confronted the aliens earlier let out a harsh, mocking laugh. "Help us? Don't make me laugh. We've seen how your help has destroyed countless other worlds. We'll never submit to your so-called guidance." Tension hung thick in the air as the two sides stared each other down, neither willing to back down. Suddenly, the Vorax ambassador's eyes widened as he detected a faint energy signature emanating from the human vehicle. "What is the meaning of this?" he demanded, his voice laced with a hint of fear. "You dare to threaten us with weapons?" The young man's lips curled into a defiant grin. "Oh, these are more than just weapons. They're a taste of what we've been working on, technology that will make your so-called advanced civilization look like child's play." Without warning, the human vehicle's turrets unleashed a barrage of energy bolts, their intensity and precision catching the alien delegation off guard. The sleek alien craft shuddered under the onslaught, its crystalline hull cracking and sparking. "Impossible!" the Vorax ambassador cried, his mandibles clicking in a mix of disbelief and panic. How could these primitives have developed such advanced weaponry? As the human vehicle continued its relentless assault, the alien delegation scrambled to activate their ship's defensive systems. But to their horror, their advanced technology seemed powerless against the humans' ingenious countermeasures. Realizing that they were outmatched, the Vorax ambassador made the difficult decision to order a retreat. "We will return with greater numbers and superior firepower," he growled, his eyes narrowing menacingly. "Humanity will learn the true price of defiance." With that, the alien ship hastily lifted off, its damaged hull barely holding together as it streaked back into the sky. The humans watched with a mix of triumph and trepidation, knowing that this was only the beginning of a conflict that would shake the very foundations of the galaxy. The Galactic Council's initial attempt at making peaceful contact with humanity had been a resounding failure. Not only had the human representatives refused to cooperate, but they had also managed to cripple the alien delegation's advanced spacecraft with their unexpected technological prowess. Furious and deeply wounded in their pride, the Galactic Council convened an emergency session to discuss their next course of action. The Vorax ambassador, his mandibles clicking in a mix of anger and frustration, laid out the situation to the gathered representatives. "Clearly, these humans are more formidable than we had anticipated. Their ability to adapt and counter our technologies is unnerving. We must take drastic measures to bring them to heel before they become a true threat to our established order." The other ambassadors murmured in agreement, their faces set in grim determination. The Xyloth representative, her scales shimmering with barely contained rage, spoke up. "We cannot allow these primitives to defy us. They must be crushed, their spirit broken, until they have no choice but to submit to our will." The Galactic Council, once seen as a beacon of peace and progress, now found itself descending into a dark spiral of escalating aggression and ruthlessness. Desperate to maintain their dominance, they began to deploy ever more devastating tactics against the defiant humans. First, they attempted to sow discord among the human factions, manipulating political tensions and stoking the flames of conflict. But the humans, united by a shared sense of purpose and a fierce determination to defend their homeworld, refused to be divided. Undeterred, the Galactic Council then resorted to more sinister methods, deploying advanced bioweapons and terraforming technologies to disrupt human infrastructure and populations. Entire cities were ravaged by engineered plagues, and once verdant landscapes were transformed into desolate wastelands. Yet even in the face of these horrific attacks, the humans stood firm, their resolve only hardening with each new challenge. They marshaled their resources, adapting and counter-engineering the alien technologies to turn the tide of the conflict. They are a resourceful and tenacious species, the Vorax ambassador admitted, his tone laced with a begrudging respect. But we cannot afford to show them any mercy. The very stability of the Galactic Council is at stake. As the war raged on, the humans continued to defy the alien invaders, their ingenuity and bravery shining through even in the face of overwhelming odds. The Galactic Council's once fearsome reputation began to crumble as their attempts to subjugate humanity only served to further galvanize the human resistance. The stage was set for a final, decisive confrontation. The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance as the Galactic Council prepared to unleash its most devastating weapons against the unyielding spirit of humanity. As the conflict between humanity and the Galactic Council escalated, the alien invaders found themselves facing a foe that refused to be broken. Despite the deployment of ever more devastating tactics, the humans continued to adapt and counter the alien forces, their resilience and ingenuity proving to be a formidable match for the Galactic Council's technological might. Frustrated and desperate, the Galactic Council convened a final emergency session to discuss their next move. The Vorax ambassador, his mandibles clicking in a mix of anger and begrudging respect, addressed the gathered representatives. Our attempts to subjugate these humans have failed. They are a tenacious and resourceful species, and their unwavering spirit has turned the tide of the war against us. We have no choice but to unleash our most powerful weapons to ensure their total submission. The other ambassadors nodded in grim agreement, their faces set in determination. The Xyloth representative, her scales shimmering with a barely contained fury, spoke up. "So be it. We will deploy our most devastating superweapons and crush these humans once and for all. Let them see the true might of the Galactic Council." Unbeknownst to the alien invaders, a faction of daring human operatives had been carefully monitoring their transmissions and preparations. Realizing the full extent of the Galactic Council's impending onslaught, they knew that drastic action was required to prevent the complete annihilation of humanity. "We have to get inside their command centers and disable those superweapons," the young leader of the human resistance declared, his eyes burning with resolve. "It's a suicide mission, but it's our only chance to save our world." With meticulous planning and unwavering courage, the human operatives infiltrated the alien command centers, navigating through heavily guarded corridors and evading the watchful gaze of the Galactic Council's forces. They moved with the precision of a well-oiled machine, their nerves steeled by the knowledge that the fate of their species hung in the balance. As the Galactic Council's superweapons were readied for launch, the human operatives sprang into action, launching a series of targeted strikes that crippled the alien command and control systems. Alarms blared, and the Vorax ambassador watched in horror as his devastating plans unraveled before his eyes. In a final climactic battle, the humans and the Galactic Council forces clashed in a desperate struggle for the fate of the galaxy. The air crackled with the energy of weapons fire, and the ground shook with the impact of the titanic clash. But through it all, the humans fought with an unbreakable spirit, their determination fueled by a deep-seated love for their homeworld and a refusal to be subjugated. In the end, it was this indomitable human spirit that emerged triumphant, shattering the Galactic Council's arrogance and paving the way for humanity's ascendance. The Galactic Council's disastrous defeat at the hands of the humans sent shockwaves through the galaxy. For the first time in centuries, the once indomitable alliance of advanced alien civilizations found itself reeling, its grip on power slipping through its grasp. The Vorax ambassador, his mandibles clicking in a mix of disbelief and rage, addressed the council chambers in a desperate attempt to rally his fellow representatives. "This cannot be. How could a primitive species like the humans have bested the might of the Galactic Council?" The Xyloth representative, her scales shimmering with a barely contained fury, stepped forward. "It matters not how they did it. The fact remains that we have been humiliated, our prized superweapons rendered useless by their ingenious countermeasures. We must regroup and strike back with all our might." But the other ambassadors were not so quick to join the call to arms. The Vitharan, a being of pure energy, let out a crackling sigh. "The humans have proven themselves to be far more formidable than we ever anticipated. Perhaps it is time we reconsider our approach, lest we risk the complete annihilation of our civilizations." Tensions within the Galactic Council began to escalate as the member civilizations questioned the wisdom of continuing the conflict. Whispers of defection and dissent rippled through the Grand Chamber, sowing seeds of doubt and mistrust. Sensing opportunity, the human resistance launched a strategic offensive, targeting the Galactic Council's weakest members. Using their advanced knowledge of alien technologies, it systematically undermined the defenses and communications of the wavering civilizations, sowing chaos and confusion. One by one, the member worlds of the Galactic Council began to fall, their leaders either surrendering or aligning themselves with the rapidly expanding human empire. The once mighty alliance found itself in a state of disarray, its cohesion and unity crumbling under the relentless human onslaught. As the Galactic Council's power crumbled, its leaders were brought to justice, forced to confront the consequences of their arrogance and the price of underestimating the potential of humanity. The Vorax ambassador, his eyes filled with a mixture of shame and despair, pleaded for mercy, but his cries fell on deaf ears. "You had your chance to coexist with us peacefully," the young human leader declared, his voice laced with a righteous fury. "But you chose to try and subjugate us instead. Now you will face the full wrath of a species you foolishly deemed insignificant." As the Galactic Council's reign came to a dramatic end, the humans emerged as the dominant force in the galaxy, their technological and military might unparalleled. The once mighty alien civilizations now looked to humanity for guidance, forced to acknowledge the folly of their past arrogance and the unbreakable spirit of the human race. With the Galactic Council in ruins, humanity found itself thrust into a position of unparalleled power and influence within the galaxy. The once dismissive alien civilizations now looked to the humans with a mixture of awe, fear, and begrudging respect, forced to acknowledge the remarkable transformation that had taken place. At the heart of this meteoric rise was the human resistance faction that had played a pivotal role in the downfall of the Galactic Council. Led by the young, charismatic figure who had first confronted the alien delegation, this group now found itself at the forefront of a new era of human dominance. "We never sought to conquer or subjugate," the leader declared, his eyes shining with a steely determination. "Our only goal was to defend our homeworld and our freedom. But now that the Galactic Council is gone, we have a responsibility to shape a new order, one that will ensure the rights and autonomy of all sentient species." The human colonies and outposts, once scattered and isolated, now began to coalesce into a vast, interconnected empire. Driven by a shared vision of exploration, innovation, and cooperation, the humans set out to establish a new galactic order, one that would be built upon the foundations of mutual respect and understanding. Surprisingly, many of the former Galactic Council member civilizations eagerly sought to align themselves with the burgeoning human empire. They recognized the value of the humans' technological prowess, their adaptability, and their unwavering commitment to the ideals of freedom and self-determination. These humans have shown us that true strength lies not in domination, but in the ability to forge alliances and embrace diversity. The Vitharan representative, now a trusted advisor to the human leadership, mused, "We have much to learn from them." As the human empire expanded, it also demonstrated a remarkable capacity for diplomacy and cultural exchange. Rather than simply imposing their will, the humans sought to understand the unique needs and aspirations of each newly integrated civilization, tailoring their approach to foster mutual prosperity and cooperation. This delicate balance of power and diplomacy, coupled with the humans' unparalleled scientific and technological advancements, quickly established them as the undisputed leaders of the galaxy. The once mighty Galactic Council, now a distant memory, was relegated to the annals of history, a cautionary tale of the folly of underestimating the potential of humanity. As the human empire continued to expand, it became a beacon of hope and inspiration for civilizations across the cosmos, a testament to the transformative power of determination, ingenuity, and a steadfast commitment to the ideals of freedom and self-determination. Generations had passed since the momentous clash between humanity and the Galactic Council, yet the impact of that pivotal conflict continued to reverberate throughout the galaxy. The story of humanity's triumph over the arrogant alien alliance had become the stuff of legend, inspiring awe and reverence among the various civilizations that now collectively made up the human galactic empire. In the grand halls of the imperial capital, scholars and historians pored over the detailed accounts of that fateful confrontation, marveling at the sheer tenacity and resourcefulness of the human resistance. They spoke in hushed tones of the daring operatives who had infiltrated the Galactic Council's command centers, disabling their devastating superweapons and turning the tide of the war. The humans were not merely victorious, the esteemed Vitharan historian remarked, her ethereal voice tinged with a sense of wonder. They were transformed, rising from a perceived insignificance to become the dominant force in the galaxy. Their unwavering spirit and unparalleled adaptability forever changed the course of our history. Indeed, the legacy of the humans had become a source of both reverence and trepidation among the alien races. They were regarded as unparalleled warriors, capable of feats that seemed to defy the very laws of the cosmos. Their technological prowess, once dismissed as primitive, was now the envy of the galaxy, their innovations and discoveries pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible. The humans are not merely our leaders, the Xyloth ambassador, his scales shimmering with a newfound respect, declared during a session of the Imperial Senate. They are visionaries, pioneers who have shown us the true potential of what can be achieved when a species is driven by an unbreakable spirit and a deep-seated love for their home. Yet beneath the awe and admiration there lingered a sense of caution and uncertainty. The Galactic Council's arrogance in underestimating the humans had proven to be a costly mistake, one that had ultimately led to its own downfall. The alien civilizations that now pledged their allegiance to the human galactic empire were keenly aware that they walked a fine line, ever wary of invoking the wrath of their formidable human overlords. As the generations passed, the story of humanity's triumph over the Galactic Council became a cautionary tale, a reminder to all who would dare to challenge the might and determination of the human race. The once mighty alien alliance had been relegated to the dustbin of history, a cautionary example of the folly of underestimating the potential of a species driven by an indomitable spirit. In the end, the legacy of the humans would echo through the ages, inspiring generations to come with its tale of courage, innovation, and the unstoppable power of the human spirit.